You ever have a really strong connection with a guy? The attraction is incredible. He's super into you. You can't stop thinking about him. Guy quickly becomes your boyfriend, and you have not been this excited in a long time. Suddenly you start to think about a future, and then boom, stops contacting you. You've been ghosted. What did you do wrong? What do you do now? What do you do next? Stick around, I'll tell you. My name is Marc, Katz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women and personal trainer for love. Welcome to the Love You podcast. Stay to the end of this video to learn why men ghost and what you can do about it. When we're done, I'll let you know how you could apply to Love You to create a passionate relationship where you feel safe, heard, and understood. So just this week, I had a Love You client get ghosted. In fact, I had like 3 Love You clients get ghosted, and I wish I could protect them from everything in the world, but all I can do is help women get boyfriends and navigate their relationships. I do not yet have the power to control what every man on the planet does. But the unfortunate part of ghosting is that it always brings up the most predictable questions that trigger one's insecurities. What did I do wrong? What do I do now? What do I do next? So let's just start with, what did I do wrong? I don't know why this is. Women tend to beat themselves up far more than men. And this is anecdotal. And I'm a dating coach for women very specifically because women ask for help and men do not. But I think there's a certain cluelessness that often comes with men where he could write off, it's her fault, she was crazy, something like that. My clients really ruminate, beat themselves up. And I don't think we can cover all the ways that women beat themselves up on a short podcast, to the point where I had to write a whole book about this. It's called Why He Disappeared, right? Why He Disappeared, The Smart, Strong, Successful Woman's Guide to Understanding Men and Keeping the Right One Hooked Forever is the long title with the colon. And it's broken up into 3 sections. Why he disappeared during courtship, why he disappeared while he's dating you, and while he disappeared from your relationship. And I'm not selling you the book. My point is, you don't need that right now, because we could spend a whole bunch of time dissecting all of your behavior through every facet of dating and relationships. But the not so secret of Why He Disappeared, my audio program, an ebook, is that it doesn't matter what you did wrong. I repeat, it doesn't matter what you did wrong. And this is a concept that I teach heavily and have to reinforce constantly for my Love You clients, the ones who are in those group coaching calls. You can't do the wrong thing with the right guy. I really want you to hear that. You can't do the wrong thing with the right guy. It's a useful and practical concept. With the man who's going to be a worthy husband, no little thing is going to derail your relationship. And I just had this conversation with, I don't know, we'll call her Judy. And she got a new boyfriend during quarantine, thanks to Love You. And things felt a little off. So she said something to him. And he validated that why she was feeling off. He was like, you know what, you're right. I don't know if I'm ready for a girlfriend. I don't know if I want this right now. And then she turns to me, what did I do wrong? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I was like, no, with the right guy, it's just a discussion about how you're respectively feeling and the pressures of working and parenting during quarantine, raising children, and the newness and the intensity of the relationship. It's just a discussion. With the wrong guy, he picks up and bails. And she's left thinking she did something wrong to cause him to do that. No, the problem was with him. So if a reasonable relationship discussion derails the relationship, newsflash, your relationship wasn't that strong. And it was certainly not meant to last for the rest of your life. No matter how much you liked him, no matter how great the start was, no matter how much potential he had, doesn't matter. These are his true colors. This guy who ghosted isn't ready for whatever reason, for the thing that you want and you're ready for. That tells the whole story. So if a guy's out, if a guy sees fit to end a relationship, and not just end a relationship by disappearing without even the semblance of a good discussion, you didn't really have a real relationship. You have a fantasy of what a relationship could look like if things were different, if he were different. That's another important thing. When we lament what happened in a relationship, you're essentially wishing that he's a different person than he actually is. The person he is the one who ghosts. I say this on Love You calls. It's stupid, but I say it anyway. Jeffrey Dahmer, great guy if he didn't eat people. That's hyperbole because it's ridiculous. Yeah, the eating people, that one thing is the problem with Jeffrey Dahmer. It's the eating people. You're a great guy who ghosts. Not that great a boyfriend. So don't waste too much time on what you did wrong. It's not that we can't all stand to improve our confidence and our self-esteem and our self-awareness and our relationship skills. It's that the reason the guy ghosted is him, not you. So that brings us to the next question. What do you do now? Hard truth. Nothing. Wait, not nothing. Proactively, unfriend him on social media. Block his texts. Take a week to grieve. Again, we're talking about a new relationship. This isn't a 2-year relationship with a guy who ghosts, which is unfathomable. Right? This is someone who you were getting started and it didn't work out sometime in the first month. Take a week to grieve. Then get back online and find a man who doesn't bail on you without a word. So that might be jarring. You may want to get some tricks on how to get your ex back. Google that. How to get your ex back. There's a whole bunch of people who will sell you a whole bunch of bullshit products on how to get your ex back. And maybe if you Google enough, you'll find the magic solution that could take Humpty Dumpty and put him back together again. Take all the pieces of egg and stitch it all together. I just don't believe in it. Because there's only one thing to do when a guy bails on you. Find a better man. Period. Because whatever you want to tell yourself about how great the ghosting guy was, the kind of man you want to marry, the kind of man who can make you feel safe and would never let you down, does not act this way. Not in a million years. Ghosting, a very particular, cruel, conflict-avoidant, insensitive way of breaking up, reveals his lack of character and his utter failure as a boyfriend and a communicator. Why would you want to lock that in for the next 40 years? Ghosting should make you angry at his cowardice. Closing the door behind him should feel great because now you're reclaiming your power and declaring that giving this guy another chance would be a huge waste of time. Think about it. What's to say that this won't happen again in a week or a month or a year or after you get married and have kids? Because the odds are it will. The kind of person who handles things this way will continue to handle things this way. It's a Maya Angelou quote. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Right? The ghoster showed you who he is. So don't take a chance. Don't pine for him and try to figure out how to get him back. There are good, mature, relationship-oriented men out there, but you're never going to meet one if you're holding out to try to fix things with the guy and the kind of guy who would ghost. Which leads us to our final point. What do you do next? Now, I can imagine that after being ghosted, I shouldn't even have to imagine, I've been ghosted before, just been many years, but I've been in your shoes, I get it. It's hard to get back out there and trust again. And that's why we have to rebuild your confidence. We have to restore your optimism. Right? I was on the phone yesterday with a client who, it was a really challenging conversation because she came to me because she wanted to find love and she hesitated to enroll in Love You. I said, what are you hesitating about? You just spent a whole hour telling me how this is the most important thing in the world, how you do anything for love. Money's not an object. And she goes, I'm afraid it's not going to work. And the men she's chosen have been hyper-intellectual, workaholic, narcissist guys without the sensitivity gene or the commitment gene. Her sample size of men is 4, and she's taken those 4 men and extrapolated it to tell a story that this is all men. a sample size of 4 men that she's been attracted to and dated, as if that tells a larger story. So we got to break her, by extension you, out of your narrative that every relationship that you're involved in is doomed because men, because age, because coronavirus, because of dating sites, and it's not true. These are limiting beliefs. And that's why the entire first month of Love You is on confidence. Particularly the first 2 weeks, I think, are enlightening. One is called Past Baggage. The other one is called Why Bother Syndrome. So if you don't want to carry around this bad taste of ghosting men with you wherever you go, that fear and that dread of dating and investing and finding out that another guy sucks, you don't want that to be the dominant narrative in your life for the indefinite future, apply to Love You, empower yourself to become the CEO of your love life, and stop all this worrying about the flaky, inconsistent interns that you really don't want working at your company anyway. In Love You, I'm going to help you hone your online dating process, perfect your screening process, so you could all but eliminate anybody who's not worthy or capable of being your future boyfriend and your future husband in a short period of time, right? So what's left are those, like I said in another video, the top 10% of men. Everybody else goes by the wayside, and our dating pool is the best of the best. You have the power to do that. I'm pleased to help you. Thank you for being here. My name is Marc Katz. I appreciate you tuning into the Love You podcast. For more episodes like this on YouTube, click the subscribe button, ring the bell, choose all to get notified whenever new content comes out. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, please scroll down, leave an honest review on Apple. More reviews equals more awareness of the Love You podcast and more love in the world for women. And if you're interested in Love You, click on the link below to apply. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.